Welcome to a quick sharp review of the Fable Omnibus. I'm going to be talking a bit about the physical release. I'm going to be talking about the story, and then lastly about the music I'd recommend listening to when you're reading it. So 3 omnibuses are out at the moment. There's about 22 volumes in total of this series, and each of these is a 2-in-1. So this would be the first 6 of them. So you'd be thinking about 11 of these, and then if they do the second contract, which is the sequel series, there'll be about 4 or 5 more, because there's about 9 volumes of that. So just having a look at the spines of all these, all the same size, nice colour difference. So I'm expecting that will be the same for the rest of these. Just looking at the covers, nice work on the covers. There's this sort of glossy stuff here, and then more of a matte finish on the rest of the paper. And then turning around there, as you can see, same thing here. This is a really nice cut and shell release. Same thing here with the glossy stuff in this text as well. Looks quite nice. Opening and just having a look at the binding, pretty solid for a 2-in-1. Some nice colour pages, which we don't always get in omnibus editions, but always grateful to see it. And then table of contents there as well. There's a little introduction message from the author, and they've got some translation notes, which I always like, just so you can get some of the puns and things that translate better in Japanese. Paper quality, I think, is fairly good with this. You can see a bit of bleed through. Overall, it's fairly standard. Nothing to write home about, but serviceable, particularly for a series like this. Overall, nice physical release. I'm pretty happy with it. So the Fable is about a hitman who has to go undercover for a bit with one of his co-workers, so someone else who works in the assassination organization that he's part of, and so they go and try to live a normal life without killing anyone. And so he's got this restriction on him as this legendary hitman, and trouble just seems to run into him, and the main plot just sort of revolves his daily life and these evolving events around him that he struggles to stay out of and not get involved. It's somewhere between like a action and a comedy. I think the tone is very similar to the TV series Barry, if you've seen that. So it can be very funny at times, but then quite serious and heartfelt, and full on intense moments. So really interesting vibe for the story. Very realistic sort of artwork in terms of the way that characters are drawn. It's not a super manga anime style. The facial expressions are all quite realistic, and a lot of the settings are quite realistic. There's no fantasy in this series. And the plot just sort of progresses over time with the events and dialogue of these people and the people around them, and they just get sucked into all this stuff that they weren't supposed to. The way the pacing works in this story is just so well done. When I first read this, I just found myself reading chapter after chapter after chapter, because I just couldn't put it down. I just wanted to see what would happen next. And there's all these lighter bits that are funny that stop it from getting too intense. But you just really like all of these characters, even the ones who you feel like at the start are fairly unlikable. You find things to like about them, and it just keeps progressing and progressing, and you just want to know what happens. Again, similar to the TV show Barry, I think it's just a really good ride. I would recommend listening to I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I haven't really found a good soundtrack to listen to. It needs something that has light-hearted moments and also sort of heavy stuff. So like something like the Persona soundtracks, which I think are pretty good for this sort of thing. It's probably going to be more likely the realistic setting manga playlist that I've made, and I'll probably have to add in some action beats into that to make it feel like what this is, but because it's mostly low scale conversation stuff, daily life stuff, but then will quickly flip into that action drama beat. The plot in this is just like, it just continues, like it's not a very episodic series. It's just constantly moving forward towards the next thing. So yeah, I would highly recommend it to anyone who's thinking about looking at it. I haven't watched any of the anime, so I can't compare it. The animation looks a bit sloppy, but I will check it out. But this manga is a cracker, real good one. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.